Both China and the US will have enormous infrastructure networks by the year 2022. Yet there are considerable infrastructure-related contrasts between the two countries. China has been making significant investments in its infrastructure, funding high-speed rail, metro systems, residential construction, energy grids, and cellular networks. On the other hand, the US dropped from 5th place in 2002 to 13th place in the World Economic Forum's 2019 Global Competitiveness Report in terms of a broad measure of infrastructure quality. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we will talk about the infrastructure of the US vs China in 2022. China's technology has even exceeded that of industrialized nations in several industries, which is raising concerns in the United States. It is clear that China and the United States' competitive rivalry has escalated and even changed the geopolitical structure, as evidenced by the virtual digital economy and digital infrastructure. But first, if you haven't, please subscribe to my channel and enable the notification bell so you can see more interesting videos like this. Although the United States was the first country to promote the construction of a digital strategy, its main objective is the building of a specialized digital infrastructure, DDI. A DDI is entirely digital and is primarily used to support the internet architecture to promote the transformation and upgrading of the digital economy, in contrast to a hybrid digital infrastructure, HDI, which emphasizes the addition of digital components to traditional physical infrastructure to enhance performance. Broadband cables, facilities for quantum technology, digital government services, and other examples of specialized digital infrastructure. This legacy is continued by the $1 trillion Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act under the Biden administration. Network infrastructure has similar implications to railroad building. The United States has a vast infrastructure network that covers the whole nation and includes, among other things, roadways, railroads, airports, and seaports. To bring many of these infrastructure systems up to date and current standards, however, requires a considerable investment. The American Society of Civil Engineers claims that there is a backlog of infrastructure investment requirements for the United States, including the upkeep and repair of current infrastructure, as well as the creation of new infrastructure systems, such as high-speed railroads. In certain cities, the water and sewage systems are out of date, the roads are in disrepair, and the bridges require repair. Also, unlike China, which has developed greatly over the past few decades, the United States lacks a high-speed train network. China has made significant investments in the development of its infrastructure, notably in the construction of brand new cutting-edge motorways, trains, airports, and seaports. Moreover, the nation is home to some of the quickest high-speed trains in the world. The Chinese digital economy is the culmination of attempts to overhaul the country's economy that began in the late 1970s. Chinese businesses have built a foundation for autonomous research and development of communication technology over the past 40 years by producing goods for foreign corporations. Due to technological transfer from industrialized nations, Chinese communication equipment giants like Huawei, ZTE, and Lenovo have emerged. This has enabled China to fully advance from dial-up networks and first-generation broadband communication to 5G mobile internet. In the late 1990s, the internet sector in China grew rapidly. China has quickly become a global leader in digital technologies, including e-commerce, big data, the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and cloud computing, in large part because of the sizable local market. Likewise, China's high-tech sector has aided in the creation of cutting-edge infrastructure, notably in the fields of renewable energy and intelligent transportation systems. China's infrastructure developments have supported regional economic connection and growth both inside the country and with its neighbors. China's internet-driven digital economy has grown to be the second biggest in the world, with a value of 45.5 trillion RMB in 2021. Yet it is challenging for China to achieve long-term stability. China's national economy depends heavily on manufacturing, which also serves as its foundation and source of strength. China has learned from COVID-19's impacts, the tightening of international internet rules, and the continued escalation of the Russia-Ukraine war, that the real economy is the key to maintaining high-quality economic development. The plan for China's digital infrastructure is only a means to this end. China is fully aware that, although dominating the globe at the speed of mobile and broadband networks after decades of building, it lags significantly behind industrialized nations in other infrastructure categories. A phase of centralized planning and scientific building by the government began in 2018, when the idea of digital infrastructure was incorporated into the development scope. China's Digital Infrastructure Plan, which is called New Infrastructure, and places an emphasis on the adoption of digital services on existing infrastructure, contrasts with the DDI of the United States by heavily integrating its communication network strengths into the use of conventional infrastructure. China has thereby created a new path. This enables China to make up for its lack of hardware and pursue technological advancements. For instance, seaports are crucial pieces of infrastructure that support global trade and link more than 90% of the supply and demand markets. Yet their current design still requires a lot of work. The global industrial industry has learned a harsh lesson from the COVID-19 outbreak. The average ETA of cargo has climbed to 8.7 days as a result of worker injuries, high labor costs, and labor shortages in Europe and the United States. Digitalization and automation could be able to clear those snags. Huawei created the Industry Academia Research Model in China. Huawei successfully constructed the first zero-carbon intelligent container terminal at Tianjin Port, one of the top 10 ports in the world, in collaboration with cooperative businesses, academic institutions, and research facilities. Huawei developed an intelligent port brain for the terminal, integrating cutting-edge intelligent algorithms to optimize driving routes, container handling, and cargo dispatch by leveraging its advantages in 5G base stations. Huawei Cloud, Stack Online, HCS Online, Intelligent Security Equipment, and Green Energy. The digital infrastructure initiative between Huawei and Tianjin Port has produced successful results, opening the door for China to investigate best practice models in the technology transformation. The United States has prioritized artificial intelligence, quantum information, 5G, and advanced manufacturing since the Trump administration, identifying these fields as 4 essential technologies that have the potential to support long-term U.S. prosperity. The U.S. Digital Infrastructure Plan has gradually evolved from encouraging the deep integration of society and technology and enhancing the potential of the digital economy, starting with the Executive Order on Maintaining American Leadership in Artificial Intelligence, signed during the Trump administration, moving on to the 2020 DOD Data Strategy, then to the Biden administration's $2.25 trillion U.S. Infrastructure Plan. With unprecedented levels of containment and threats against other nations, it has developed into a strategy for boosting national security and home production. Due to worries about the cost and funding sources of infrastructure projects, the United States likewise has difficulty supporting infrastructure development. Despite plans and talks for infrastructure investment, little progress has been made in negotiating a comprehensive funding package to satisfy the country's infrastructure investment needs. The strategic rivalry between China and the United States is intensifying. With export restrictions, fines, and technology bans in recent years, the United States has slowed the spread of China's cutting-edge technologies. It has also worked with its economic partners to exert pressure on China through multilateral institutions. Political reality dictates that China and the U.S. are reducing their economic, technological, and soft power gaps, and this structural contradiction has evolved into the politically right excuse for the U.S. administration to maintain its anti-China stance. The environmental effect of China's infrastructure development and the nation's high debt-to-GDP ratio has drawn criticism from some, though. Hence, China's digital infrastructure is more conservative than that of the United States and places more of a focus on digital applications for physical infrastructure. The main components of China's hybrid digital infrastructure are semiconductors and data algorithms. Washington is specifically putting pressure on Chinese businesses in these sectors. At the start of the Sino-US technology decoupling, Washington introduced the CHIPS and Science Act to choke China and seeks to follow the European Union's lead on data protection laws to carry out an in-depth analysis of the Chinese enterprise's foreign operations market. The objectives China had for its digital infrastructure suffered a serious blow as a result. Because of the scarcity, hierarchy, and periodicity of the power produced by digital technology, China and the United States will continue to compete with one another for the foreseeable future in the area of digital infrastructure. The United States, however, cannot ignore China's digital footprint and relevance due to globalization. In the process of putting rules and regulations into effect, both countries will have the chance to collaborate and engage in competition. How long this competition will last, though, is yet unknown. The Sino-US relationship must be handled to strengthen global stability, advance world peace and prosperity, and avoid a tragic deterioration. Overall, infrastructure investment and development are essential for promoting economic growth, as well as assuring connection and accessibility both inside a nation and across nations worldwide. Prioritizing infrastructure development is essential if China and the United States are to maintain their competitiveness and sustainability over the long run. With that being stated, we have concluded today's video. Thank you for sticking with us through it, and I hope you liked the journey. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, the subscription button, and the notification bell to get notified when new videos are uploaded from our channel. Should the US and China disagree about their infrastructures, or should they work together for a better future? Let us know in the comment box. Thank you. See you in the next video.